Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. It's Maverick here. It's Monday, it's Monogatari Monday, and so today we are finishing the last episode of the Onimonogatari arc. So, as I pretty much said last episode, I really have no idea where this particular arc is going. I feel like, you know, when I first started out the Monogatari series back in Bake, I was kind of not quite sure how exactly they were trying to do the story, where exactly it was trying to go. Once I learned a little bit more about the characters and how the story typically stylizes itself, I feel like I'm getting more and more of a hang of it. I'm basically much more easier able to see where exactly, like, at least try and see what Araki is trying to do, or maybe the inner thoughts, if you will, of all the other girls and whatnot. But this one, I really have no clue. I guess maybe part of it is that I'm still not entirely solid on the concept of an aberration, and particularly for someone like Shinobu and whatnot. But I don't know. I really honestly don't know what that darkness is and why it's manifesting right now, right? About the only clue I have right now, though, is I later on thought a little bit about it, and it goes back to Guy and Izuko, right? The lady that Araki is able to meet at the very end there, who we first saw back. I already forgot the arc. Was it? It's one of the Nekomonogatari arcs, right? With Hanekawa. But actually, I don't think we've actually seen Araki meet her yet. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, back in Otori Monogatari, right, Sengoku's arc, we do learn that the talisman, which she later ate, was actually given to Araki by Guy and Izuko. So I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen here, and so it's tied into the story from that kind of perspective, right? No real other evidence to say so, but I'm just assuming so, since it is within the same season, same collection of arcs, if you will. But how that relates with the story at hand, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to be along for the ride for this one. So let's just jump into this episode and find out. All right, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, me too. Yeah, this is the first time Araki saw her. But she probably knows everything about you, Araki. Clairvoyance. Going on me. Right, she knows everything. Presumably. So she's just going to come out and explain everything for us? Which kind of sums up my feelings about this particular arc as well. I just want someone to come out and explain everything already. Shinobu. Araraki. Alright. Okay, so that ties in with what we saw back in the Monogatari arc. Like why Aragi later on was at Kumbarus. I presume that once again is the next arc. It's actually Aragi. Hmm? What? Why? So, is it saying that Hachikuchi is not supposed to exist? Right. So Hachikuchi's... I'm guessing it's because she's supposed to be like a lost spirit, but she's technically not lost anymore? Ah, she tried to change what she was. So that changes her attributes. Huh. Really? Okay, but who sent the darkness though? Is there like is there like a big aberration god or something? Yeah, she's supposed to be. Yeah, yeah. Totally get that. I think I talked about that all the way back in Bake. Like, technically she's supposed to be a spirit. That's haunting the place because mm, inexperience maybe. Mm. So wait, aberrations aren't able to actually change how they are? Once they're locked into being an aberration, they're like that forever? Huh, really? You would be not lost anymore. Mm. Wow. You can't defeat something that doesn't exist. And Hachiku's just like, I'll let myself be swallowed by it. And yet, 400 years ago, the darkness also swallowed up people other than Heart Underblade though. So this, so I guess there's also another way. Like, if nobody else believes that Heart Underblade is a god, she would also be safe, right? Doesn't matter what she actually does or doesn't do. Yeah, that's true. Even back in Baka, I was thinking, okay, does that mean that she's supposed to go to the overlife now, afterlife now? But still, I'm thinking. Can aberrations really not change who they actually are? And sorry guys, I know that this is supposed to be like an emotional scene and whatnot, but I'm much more interested in trying to figure out a solution here. Should we think back to Hanekawa? And what about the rest of them? What does he see? But I know rules are rules, but you have to have a way to be able to bend the rules, right? Oh no, Noki's helping right. Kamimashita. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way to go over this, right? And by the way, there's still some. I still see some more after the end there. Right, like if you guys were expecting me to like act all emotional and stuff over that end, I get it, but I don't like to give up this early, especially when there's so little that we know about this entire thing. Like, I can accept everything that Gain said, and I think what you said is pretty logical as well. But would it really be such... Would it really be such a set rule? I'm just thinking through all the aberrations right now. What they were supposed to do, why they still exist. Although... Alright. How are we gonna end this? Really? Wait, what? Are you the judge of things? Wait, seriously? What? What? Okay, I have to think about this for a second here. I'll see you guys after this. What the hell, guys? What the actual hell? Literally, I waited an entire day to do this video review because I'm just thinking of what actually just happened. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, if you guys know of the 5 stages of grief or whatnot, I'm pretty sure I'm still in the denial stage of things because, like, that just came out of nowhere. I was still, you guys saw me, during the entire scene, I was still thinking, okay, how exactly can they get out of this situation? What are the rules and logics of this darkness thingy? I mean, clearly there are rules here. How can they bend them? We're not talking about breaking the rules, we're talking about bending them, and so allowing Mayoi to still have some sort of chance to continue living on in this world as an aberration, right? And then, all of a sudden, they were saying their goodbyes, and then, bam, just like that, she's gone? Like, what the hell? That's gotta be something wrong there. I refuse to believe that that's the way that they're sending her off. I 100% absolutely refuse to believe that. And so let's talk about this from a more more logical perspective, right? So first of all, what Guy and Izuko said about the darkness and about how it's targeting Mayoi. Now, honestly, up to that point, I am completely on board with her explanation. I think it makes total sense. In fact, if you guys go back to my Baki video during the arc with Mayoi, I pretty much said the same thing at the very end as well. I was quite surprised that Mayoi was still here in this world and still hanging out around Aragi because, you know, she is supposed to be a lost spirit, right? A spirit with regrets, a wandering spirit, and now that her regret has been fulfilled, she's supposed to pass on to the afterlife. I think I specifically mentioned that during Bake as well. And so, you know, I didn't think too much of it at that time because it was just like, okay, whatever. It's just the way that the story goes. But indeed, I was thinking, how exactly is she still being here when she's clearly not fulfilling her definition, right? The definition of being a wandering lost spirit anymore. So now, up to that point, it makes total sense to me, and it also makes total sense to me that there would be some sort of repercussion if an aberration was going rogue, right? I feel like that is all still totally logical and fine. However, some other things in regards to darkness, like whatever, like you can't really do anything against it, or supposedly it's only supposed to punish these bad aberrations, or I guess you can't really say bad, these inadequate aberrations, if you will. That doesn't really seem right to me. Because, for instance, you know, she was saying that the darkness is really a threat to no one else except for Mayoi, right? And yet, 400 years ago, Shinobu clearly said that the darkness was swallowing up villagers around her, right? So, clearly, it's targeting others first and then targeting her. So, what's up with that, right? So, clearly, already, that there is a sort of, you know, a sort of gap between what both are saying. So unless we're supposed to think that Shinobu remembered things wrong, or maybe she's not telling the entire truth, otherwise it's Guy and Izuko who's wrong, right? So, you know, that's the first point that I want to point out that doesn't really seem quite right to me. And then the second part, of course, is what I was actually trying to do at the end of this episode and trying to think of, okay, so what are some loopholes, what are some other methods that we can use in order to allow Mayu to still continue living on in this world, right? So one thing that really puzzles me is in the point where supposedly the darkness punishes the aberrations that lie because they are impersonating something that they're not. Right. And yet the rules of aberration, as far as I understand right now, is that as long as people believe you to be something, then you are that, right? So, like, isn't that like a chicken and egg kind of situation? Which comes first, right? Is it supposedly it's, for instance, if I believe Mayoi is supposed to be a, you know, let's say, for instance, instead of being a wandering lost spirit, she's instead an earthbound spirit, right? A lingering spirit, which is tied to a specific area, tied to a specific building or structure, you know, that kind of spirit, that kind of aberration, right? If I believe that of her, wouldn't she gradually change into being that type of spirit, right? Isn't that how this is supposed to work? That's certainly what worked with the Sarineko, right? As well as some various, I think, I can't remember exactly right now, but I seem to recall that some other aberrations during some other story arcs also utilize the same sort of faith method as well. So, like, how is that supposed to work? But if they don't believe in, like, if they believe in you, that's a lie, and yet if they don't believe in you, you're not going to ever be able to change into that new sort of aberration. So, I don't know. Is it a case where not only do they need to believe in you, but you also have to carry out duties similar to that belief? But I don't know. It's just, I mean, even so. Let's just say that was the case, then if that was the case, then there's certainly some other method or solution for Mayoi to remain here, right? Like, that was actually the plan that I was coming up with. Okay, so she's no longer an aberration of being lost or whatnot. So let's say that she is now an aberration of the town. She is an aberration of a specific building. She is an aberration of, I don't know, aberration of stuttering or something. Like whatever. But, I mean, my point is, if these are actually the rules that they are supposed to abide by, then I feel like there are rules that they can use in order to allow Mayoi to continue to be in this world and not passing on to the afterlife, right? So that's basically the point that I want to get at. I feel like they were definitely way too early to give up on this. We don't need Araragi trying to sacrifice himself and and live the rest of his years with Mayoi or something. We don't need Mayoi to just willingly say, okay, it's fine, I love you, but I need to leave you, I need to go to the afterlife. I honestly feel that they should have, really sat down and thought of some other solutions to allow Mayoi to still be here, right? And not to mention, I still don't completely believe that she's gone, by the way, if I haven't made that clear enough yet. What else is there to say? Like, yeah, I think that's... that's basically it, right? I definitely feel that they were a little bit too hasty in their decision here. Though I guess, thinking back to Onimonogatari, right, the previous arc that I did with Sengoku, I guess it kind of makes more sense why at the sort of false preview that she was doing at the very end of the arc, where she said all the guys and gals were gathering, Araragi and his girls and whatnot, and yet Mayoi was missing, right? So I guess that was... Now, technically, this arc is supposed to happen before, but since I did the other arc already, it counts as a sort of foreshadowing, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know about that. I really don't know about this. I still feel like this is, there definitely is supposed to be ways to go about this, to fool or to alter. Not alter, but basically to bend, to tiptoe the lines of what is legal, I guess you'd say, and illegal here. What else? So the ending here is also definitely quite interesting as well with Ogi, right? The other Oshino, her cousin, his cousin, maybe his cousin or something like that. So by the way that she talked, it almost seemed like she is the darkness, right? She is the one who's going around and punishing aberrations for not doing what they're supposed to do. Is that true or not? Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see in the next arc here. This is the end of the Onimonogatari arc. But, yeah, I don't really know what to say about that part, but, I still feel like it's definitely not the end for Mayoi, and there is still hope yet. But, anyways, that's it for this episode and this arc. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like... I know this is probably going to be hard for you guys to actually respond to me, considering that, like, on one hand, if she's really gone, then if confirming that would, that really suck, and yet if she's not really gone, then that would count as a spoiler, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but, I mean, you guys have been doing a great job so far, so you guys do you, right? But I'm just saying that I sincerely, 100% do not believe that Mayoi is gone. Alright, that's it for this episode. That's it for this arc. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye-bye.